Togozani, we are here. We've arrived. Yes, Abundance, you are the second one to be here. V has been here like for 8 minutes packing, making sure that she doesn't miss anything. She doesn't miss the introduction. Like Jarafuni Uvi. So greetings, tribe members. Tuning in live from Johannesburg. Well, Krugersdorp, South Africa. I'm always like tuning live from Johannesburg, and I'm not longer in Johannesburg. I'm actually in Krugersdorp. So that's Mohali City. It doesn't belong to the city of Joburg. So greets as a way of ushering yourself into the teaching, and just let me know where you are from, so I'm able to, as always, be cognizant of the multiple nationalities that we come with, and I'm able to keep the teachings to a language where everyone can be able to learn, to hear and to get the teachings as well. So welcome to Tulile, welcome. Tande is from Pretoria. Kihilwe. Yes, Kihilwe. Kihila, I know you. Dimakato from Beklu, that's Johannesburg. Abundance is in Fosloras. Glenda, welcome. Nandi Pa. Kuma from Cape Town. Lefty. Yes, Kihila is from Kimberley. Rahab from Bosberg. Lefty from the Northern Cape. We've got Nubuntu watching from Cape Town. Petunia Baro is in Johannesburg. We've got Maho Kahiso, who's my neighbor. Kahiso is like 10 minutes from my house. Larato is from Binoni. And Julie is from Kobeja. And Thompson is from Zambia. Uh, Low is from Polokwane. Princess Akona is from Durban. And Nolutando, oh, it doesn't say where it's from. Karaba is from Midrand, my former neighborhood. Loiso is from Santin, and Yanke from Cameroon. Wow, we got somebody from West Africa. Welcome. That's interesting. Tsegofatso, welcome Berry in Mukopani. Welcome Mapula in Botswana. James in Pretoria. Mamuhau from Soshanguve. Nomazul is in Bedford. Dineo is in the UK. Nobile from Vosloras. Mahlohonolo from Tembisa. And Evodia is from Bloemfontein. Yes. And so are many other people. Lukanya is watching us from East London. And we've got Crystal from New York. And Namsile from Bloemfontein. So we have the whole world, right? We have the continent here. We've got our fellow African brothers and sisters in the diaspora. So we've got everyone here. Tonight's topic is a very important one. It's actually a version point two of what I did in 2019, if not 18, where I spoke about signs that indicates that one is spiritually gifted or one has a calling. But today's focus is mainly the importance of dreaming and dreams when you are spiritually called. So, what we can say is that all of us are spiritually called, hence, we are here. We have incarnated into a physical body and we are on earth because there's a calling that we had and Sasabela. So, we are here in the honor of the calling because we are spiritual beings having a human experience. So our spirit is in honor of the calling. And when we are not in the honor of why we have incarnated, we start to experience elements, we start to experience discourses, we start to experience turmoil, we start to experience chaos, we start to experience suffering because we're not in honor of our incarnation. We are not in honor of the mandate, right, or of this purpose of landing on earth. So we will be reminded by why we're here through the life's chaotic experiences, and most of us are reminded through the dreams. But I want us to focus on the spiritual calling of the healers, and that's the focus of tonight's teaching. Veshna is my sister, guys. Samma, thank you for coming through. Veshna is like my mom. They are always watching, which is such an honor when you've got family also who follow this work and are fascinated and inspired and enlightened. It just gives you the motivation as well. It gives you the inspiration to do the work. So when we speak about those who are called to become spiritual healers, we know that there is a variety of healing gifts that cut across culture, that across heritage, bloodline lineages. There's plenty, but I'm gonna focus on the gifts of the people of Southern Africa because that is the context I have, and these are what I am experienced in, and I'm not experienced in all of them, but I've got experience in some of them, and this is what I'm going to touch. So I'm not here positioning myself as a know-it-all and as a guru, but I'm going to be teaching based on what I know from my own, lessons, my own moments of being a student, but I'm bringing my own moments of being a Kobela and being Isangoma myself. Then this is where the teachings are coming from. So let's get to the topic. Why is it important for one to dream? Actually, firstly, let me speak about what is dreaming, right? So people will say, I have dreamt, or I have not dreamt. So dreaming, it's a recollection of memories, right? Either past, present, or future. So we are accessing information. When you have dreamt, you've accessed information. It's when your body has had a way into the spirit world by accessing information that is pivotal, that is important for your journey here and for your journey in relation to the mission of your incarnation, in your journey in relation to the purpose of why you have come on planet Earth in this moment, in this time, in this era of your life, right? In this century in which you are born into. So when we are dreaming, we are recalling. Why do I say we are recalling? Because when we fall asleep, our body is the one that is sleeping, but then our spirit is much awake. So it's awake and then it travels through different timelines. It travels into the past, the present, and the future because the information that it brings forward is information that is meant to aid us on the path towards our gifts, on the path towards our callings, on the path towards our mission of incarnation. So when we are recalling those experiences, therefore, those experiences are a gift to us to know what needs to be done, what needs to be undone, what needs to be learned, what needs to be unlearned, and also what needs to be healed. So we are recalling experiences. So we could be recalling experiences of lives before this lifetime. So the lives we've had in other lifetimes, because some of us have lived many lives. For some, it is their first time incarnating on earth. For many of us, especially spiritually gifted people, we have had many other lives prior to this life that we are living at this moment. So when we are going into the past, we're not only recalling our past prior to our current lives, but we are also recalling a past, past this lifetime. Hope you are following me. So it is important to note that. We're also recalling experiences of this moment, so of the current moment. This could be something of what is currently happening around your relationship with money, your relationship with your loved ones, your relationship with work, your relation with something. Because as human beings, we thrive in relation with others. Our incremental part of existence is to be in relationship. It's in connection, because in connection, then we can rediscover. In connection, we can actually then understand who are we, because we need to be able to interact. That's one thing that makes us distinctively unique from other animal species, because we are part of the animal kingdom as human beings. But what makes us distinct, with amongst other things, but this in relation, is to be in relationship, to be in connection, to have unions, because in those unions we are able to self-actualize and self-realize. We are able to come to awareness of things. That's why a lot of people who go through awakening, when they are awakening to their spiritual callings and their spiritual gifts, something goes unwell in relation to the other. Either you have problems with relationship with your money, you lose your job suddenly, things start to go very haywire, you lose a loved one suddenly, you lose an intimate partner. There is a loss of some sort that comes and somewhat opens the veil and reminds us of why we've come here. So there's a lot of reminders that we would experience, but one of them is through a loss, because when somebody dies or we lose a job, a part of us dies with that. I mean, a job is our livelihood, right? A career setback it's connected to our livelihood and how we can actually function in society and take care of ourselves as adults. Even education is a relationship. So some awaken when they've been studying a particular course and they can never seem to pass one module, irrespective of their cognitive intelligence. So irrespective of how intelligent you are, there's always something that overcomes or overwhelms you when you have to study, when you have to complete your assignments, when you have to finish your research if you are doing a postgrad degree. So there's always going to be an interference. And when there's an interference, it means that something in relation to our spirit as the body is out of sync because we are not remembering. So why do we need to remember? Because the minute we incarnate and we hit the ages of 2, we start becoming nurtured, right? And in the nurture, we start to lose our nature, because then programs and templates start to run our lives. So our own innate sense of knowing who we are and why we are here gets lost. Hence, dreams are so important, because dreams are a portal in accessing information that has been lost, muted, closed off or blocked off, because you come and you are born into a family that doesn't believe in spiritual callings and gifts, that doesn't believe in practicing certain rituals. So you will grow up knowing what you know as the truth of how you need to get in relation and connection to your spirit, so you are connected to your soul's mission, gets interfered with. So those interferences, when they occur, then they move us from hearing and downloading and retrieving information. So I hope it's making sense. And to just be clear, you don't wake up out of a crisis and you all of a sudden have a calling. A major crisis is the biggest reminder. It's like a billboard that you can't walk away from, that is staring at your face. But your life has been one that has always felt like it's not a life like ordinary people. There's always been a hurdle you had to overcome. There's always been, you had to make extra strides to just get somewhere with your life. That's one of the important things to note when you know you are spiritually called, is because something has never always fallen into place. Whether that's school, whether that's family, whether that's love, whether that's money, whether that's health, because even we have a relationship with our physical bodies, because if our physical bodies are ailing, we can't function properly. If this temple is not functioning and is not into its optimal health, we will collapse, and we can't, because humans are not machines. We are a dynamic, interrelated and interconnected system. So one part of it is not well, it makes everything else unwell. If you have a headache, you can't even read or study. You can't even be on a long phone call. You can't be intimate with your partner, because it's just so present. It shows how we are. Unlike machines like cars, if a battery is flat, the other things can still function, but some parts of the car might function. Whereas with a human being, you hit your toe, your whole body is in pain, not only one part. I hope you are following me and you are getting the teachings. So dreaming then becomes important when you've been told that you've got a gift. You've got a spiritual gift to be a healer, and being a healer does not necessarily mean you are here to heal others. Healer is you are here to heal that which you were unable to complete. You've got karmic debts that you haven't really settled, and why you've returned back on planet, because you are here to heal those things, because they are a stumbling block for you to transcend and return back to source energy, meaning Mudimu Ramasedi Unkulunkulu God. So because of that, you have to return and be a healer so you can heal these karmic debts and heal these patterns and pathologies that the generation in your lineage are going to suffer from because of what you created in the past lifetime when you were here. So healer does not necessarily mean healing others. And this is where we see ourselves being lost in the modern times, where the assumption is our callings are the same, and our paths are the same, and our initiation processes are the same, and that our end results are the same. This is why when people leave initiation processes and they don't do as well as others, they become disgruntled, feeling like they were done a disservice or an injustice, and not necessarily that it wasn't, it could have been, but it's because when it comes to spiritual, when it comes to your life, you can't compare, you can't compete, because comparison moves you away from the goalpost. Comparison moves you away from your own unique incarnation. So I needed to clear that path so that you are aware that not all of us are called to perform the same functions, but some of us are. But even in that, the paths and the journeys we undertake and we journey on are not similar, because you are a unique manifestation of Creator. So your calling is also unique to the components of your creation. It's unique to your DNA, your spiritual DNA. It's unique to the mission in which you've incarnated for. So even if you can all go through the same initiation process, you can all be related spiritually when you go for initiation, because you become a spiritual family, but you are not all gonna be able to do the same things, because also how you show up at initiation is informed what else gets activated as we activate your gift, because we're activating your gift for usage in initiation. We are not gifting you anything new. We are gifting you awareness. We are gifting you enlightenment, so you can become, your gift can come to light, and you can understand what is my gift for, what is the usage for. So we are activating it for usage, either usage for healing self, family, and others, your race, your gender, your world, your planet, your solar, your cosmos. We don't know, right? You don't know when you are carrying so much of programs and templates that has nurtured you and moved you from your nature. So initiation partly is to return you to your nature. Your nature is the true divine essence of who you are. So yeah, it feels deep, right? It feels really, really deep. So let's get into the dreams. And please note, tribe, I'm not going to be responding and interpreting dreams. I'm going to be teaching, and I'll take questions around clarity of dreams. And I'm going to give you some smaller insights on how you can start to learn how to interpret some of the dreams that come. So when we are recalling experiences, we recall it as is, meaning literally, of as how things have happened, how things are happening, or how things are going to happen, right? We do have people who recall things exactly as they are. That recollection clearly is an indicative sign of that you are called to heal, because if you are recalling things as clearly, it means that you are being shown, because there's an action that is required from your end, and the action knows that you have the know-how. You might not have it now, but let's say you are shown a sick person and that they're gonna get this illness. They understand that you are the healer with the medicine that they need. Hence, you are being shown those things. So people who have literal dreams that can be able to recall experiences as they unfolded, experiences as they need to unfold, that's a clear sign that you're gifted. The other way in which we recall experiences, it's symbols. We see things that we, in our nurtured brain, in our brain of cognitive, in our brain of mental intelligence, logical application, we are unable to understand what it means. So these are codes. You are given codes, signs, symbols, metaphors of things, right? Because when you are given those things, it's the understanding and somewhat the knowing of your own limitation of your level of consciousness. Because if your level of consciousness is lower and they're giving you things of higher consciousness as literally as it could be overwhelming, where you can actually go into a collapse. So they will give you signs and symbols that require deeper understanding of them, because you are not yet at the level, your level of consciousness and readiness is not ready yet to ascend to greater heights and greater understanding. You are also given omens and signs and symbols, because on the other side, in the spirit world, they do not speak human language, they speak spiritual language. So they come in those things. So it's very rare that you'll have a dream where they say Koko Dineo is your Kobena. You will then see symbols and signs that when we interpret them, they are indicative that that's the teacher you need to activate the gift for usage. So this is a dream. So it comes as literal, it comes as signs, as symbols, as omens, but we need to also be aware of, we can also recall a movie that we just watched, even though the scene seems quite different, and now you are one of the characters in the movies, because as a gifted person, your empathy is heightened. So your ability to absorb, that's why they say we are sensitive. We easily absorb things that we read, things that we see, things that we take on. That's why when you are a spiritually gifted person, guarding your energy frequency is very important. What you consume consumes you, and in that consumption, it can actually drown you. So now let's get to some of the dreams, right? So now let's get to, why do I say it is incremental and it's important? So dreams are the spirit world communicating to you as a gifted person, right? Dreams are the spirit world communicating. It's communication from the other side. So when you are spiritually gifted, if you don't have access to the other side, why would you then go and take a step that require, like, why would, if great, so let me slow it down here. Dreams are entry level, an entry level of a spiritually gifted person, because there are communication from the spirit world. We are downloading and retrieving information from the spirit world. So you are spiritually gifted. So if you're spiritually gifted and you are not at entry level, why do you want to go and enroll at higher level, but the foundations are not working? Let's give thanks to Nandipa. And I think Nandipa contributes, guys, donates every week. Thank you so much. You can purchase the super sticker if you're on YouTube. I know how you do it. It will show you. It will say you want to gift something, then press that, and then it will come up. So when you're a spiritually gifted person, you can't go into a higher. What do I mean by higher? Higher grades. So you can't go into enrollment without entry level. So entry level is your dream. So what are you enrolling? Because you have not received comms. You have not received communication from the other side. Because it's not only the signs that you will see and the collapse in relationship. Because when you are unable to recall your dreams, it means that you don't have a healthy relationship with the spirit world. So if you don't have a relationship with the spirit world, why do you want to sign up to open up and activate without first building a relationship with the spirit world? So do not be fooled with no, then there are things that mentor, because you need to work with a mentor, right? That mentor mandate is to actually connect you with the spirit world, connect you with the world of your ancestors, connect you with the world of your spirit guides, because that is foundation. So it is important to dream, because that's the foundation that you are going to build your gift on. So without that foundation, it makes it very difficult, because it means there's no relation. So how then do you go epiphreni, and how are they going to show themselves up? How are you going to be informed of the things that you need to do, of the next steps? How is that going to be made possible? right? How is that going to be made possible if the foundation is not set right? Towaza Koko Lerato, thank you so much for the gift. Highly appreciate um, that. So, do you understand what I'm saying, what I mean, and what I'm saying? So, you can't want to build a house where there's no foundation, because that house, no matter how powerful and beautiful your gift is, it will eventually collapse because nothing is holding it together. Because if you are given things, you are not always at higher vibrational intuitive frequency to sense and feel things. That's why your dreams are important, because they're there to guide you. They're your guide. That's the navigation of your calling. That's the navigation of your path. So if you are not connected to the navigator, you're gonna be lost in the journey of trying to navigate your gift. Thank you, Loretta. I want to say, I want to bring this up. I didn't see Good Nandipa gave us actually 399 rands. Thank you so much. I thought it was 39. I didn't see it. So that's that. So I want you to live tonight's life understanding that if you've been told, if you've been made aware, if it has come to your awareness that you've got a calling and you've got a gift, and you are not dreaming, start there. Start there. Start doing rituals and processes that are going to connect you to build your foundation on the dreams, right? And at the same time, I need to say, when we recall past, we are recalling not only information for the calling alone, it's also information that is going to aid us to become better healers. So we also can be dreaming of childhood traumas that are not in our minds, that are not in our presence at the moment, because when we go through traumatic experiences, we go through trauma responses. Some of us just go and disassociate with that trauma and disassociate completely with the experience, because that's the way in which you have survived that encounter. That's the way you've survived that tragedy. Because remembering is too painful and you won't be able to survive. So make sure to understand that some of the dreams we are dreaming of, even future dreams, even present dreams, they're not always spirit guiding you towards the calling or the healer, but it is connected because it reveals your desires, it reveals your lusts, it reveals your pains and your traumas. So, those things being revealed to you by the spirit world in your dream are an indication of what is to be a hurdle, are an indication of what is going to be a stumble block, are an indication of what is going to be potholes, what is going to be detours on your journey, because wena uhlezi uphupha this guy all the time, and it's this and that. So that could also be a warning of, yes, but be careful. So that's why you can't take everything as literal, because sometimes dreaming of sexual intimate dreams with someone most of the times has nothing to do with you being in a relationship with that person. It's about a spiritual connection, the two ancestral bloodline or lineages coming together. That's very common for people to dream that when it comes to their gobelas. So it's the coming together, it's the union between you, your people, and your gobelas people. It's not about you and your gobela being in a relationship and you getting your freak on. It's not about that. And this is why some people have misused things, because they've lured and they've actually assaulted their initiates because of those dreams. Like, yeah, you see, this is what your people want. No, 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 no. I did say that not all dreams are literal. Even if you have literal dreams, but you're not always going to get literal dreams. There is a deeper meaning to things. And one of the second things that is important for you to note is, please understand that you need to get more than one dream. because they don't always come as a full story, chapter 1 till the end of the story. You get different pieces of the puzzles, and the puzzles are not coming in a linear chronological order. I'm going to take questions right now, Tribe. Just listen in, make comments about this. Lorraine, thank you so much for the super sticker. That's euro, right? Is that a euro sign? Thank you. So understand that it's not going to come in chronological order. You can have a dream of what's to happen 20 years from now or 5 years from now, and not have dreams about what's happening, what you need to do now. So the easy misinterpretation is people who dream of things that have to happen 3 years from now, and they think they need to act on it now. By acting on it, you are acting on one piece of the puzzle and you're missing the rest of the puzzle. So what we call is that you become a rushed, right? It's a haphazard action. And then it actually hinders you getting the rest of the piece of the puzzle, and you get stuck in the action of just the future piece of the puzzle. So this is what I needed to say. So I think you've gotten it, the importance of why you need to have dreams when you're spiritually gifted, because I know that there's some people who don't believe in it. And I say that when you start saying no, you don't, because fixing a house that has no foundation is more expensive than actually taking time to build a solid foundation. Fixing a house that was built on a weak taking foundation is going to be more costly for you than actually building a stronger foundation and making sure that your foundation is strong. So you need to also go, Nomvula, and see my teaching on egregore spirits and Izilwani, because that will also answer why you are dreaming, because not everything sexual is also kosher, because this is where siphoning spirits come and parasites. They come through those dreams because our sexual energy is our healer energy. So that's why you can't give of that energy to anyone and everyone just because you're dreaming about them. Because these are people that could actually be coming to siphon and to actually feast and drain your own healer force away from you, that you leave depleted. Remember, truth of the matter is that there are those who don't have the gift. There are those who don't have the calling, but will feast off. They are like parasites and siphoners that will leash on other people. By Zimbumulu, they will leash on other people who have. And that's why you see that they are their own sexual relations are not kosher. Extremely multiple partners, lots of infidelity, lots of sadism, and all of those things, because the only way they can have access to spiritual healing powers is by taking it from those who've got. So I'll get to that, Precious. I wanted to close this off. So what are some of the things that can actually block you recalling? Remember, we spoke about dreams being a recollection. What could be, guys, have you seen how my nails turned from orange to yellow? Cute, right? It's color block. So I've just noticed them now because when I started, they were orange. So what can be blocking you from remembering? So remember, it's about remembering, recollection, right? The things that can be blocking you, yes, dark energy forces could be, because remember, they can only tamper with your temple. So they can work and mess up this body, but they can't access. They really can't access your pure divine essence. They can work with the body to mess it up so the body is unable to be one and to be in alignment with divine pure energy. I don't believe anyone can tamper with my spirit. I believe they can tamper with my mind, with my mental body, they can tamper with my physical body, but they can't tamper with your divine self. So when they tamper with your divine self, they tamper, with your physical and mental body, is so that You are caught in the trauma, you are caught in the pain of the body, and when you are caught in the body, then you are unable to be in relation with the spirit world, because you are now just landed on what the body and the mind. You are unable to access other realms, so they can't block the other realms, they can block you to access the other realms. So these are the witchcraft, um dark energy forces, siphoning spirits, aggregates. These are the things that can actually then interfere with your recollection of your dreams, or of your memories. So that is what could happen. The other thing is the lifestyle that we live. I mean, we live in a world where we are consumed so much by information, and there's a lot going into our body and our brain, so much that when we are trying to remember, our brain is still processing information and content. There's lots. There's social media, there's mainstream media, there's newspapers, there's all of those things. And not everything that is written or said is positive, uplifting, motivating, and inspirational. Some of it is quite disturbing. And when we are disturbed, when we are not well within ourselves, we're not vibrating higher. When we are always in the minus, we are not able to access what is in the positive, the higher spiritual world. That's one. Number three. So number three, I said people, dark energy forces, witchcraft, siphoning spirit can interfere. I said what we consume, because some of the information we also consume can be stressful and depressing, right? Can be stressful and depressing, and can make us feel so drained and tired. It's a lifestyle. So on lifestyle again is our diet is not how we used to eat. We eating more non-foods than we're actually using. We're eating whole foods. So everything is overly processed, everything is overly packaged. So diet is very important, because the body needs to be in its optimal wellness and well-being to remember the travels, because it's your body that's remembering. So what you are feeding your body will help you be able to remember, because a healthy body is a healthy mind. A healthy mind then is able to absorb all this information and retrieve information from the spirit world. So that's the other thing. And with lifestyle again, I mean, it's like a lot of things under lifestyle. It's also your mental and emotional health. That is also, so things that have happened to you and things that you've experienced and encountered, because when you are not in a good emotional and mental space, your body also takes a toll, because it's not just about your psychology, but I have explained that everything in the body, in as human beings, we are interconnected. So that's the other thing that does that. So what are some of the things that you could do? One is that, if you're feeling overwhelmed or something, these are simple tips. It does not necessarily mean it's going to work, because what might be blocking you might be something much more serious. It might be that there is a fragmentation in your ancestral realm world or spirit world. There is things that have been done over periods of time and decades of, like years, they've actually created a barrier for the living in the world of the ancestors. So when this doesn't seem to be able to aid, then I would recommend that you try and go see a spiritual healer who can be able to check what's going on. But simple things. So eat 2 to 3 hours before you go to bed. You allow your body to work, because digestion is the body working. Its body is in physical activity. So when you are eating and you go to bed, your body gets tired. Even when you are traveling, by the time you wake up, it's very difficult. Avoid processed foods at night. Avoid processed carbs at night. So these are your, like, white rice, your white pasta, your high sugar carbohydrates. That's what I mean by simple carbs. So try and have complex carbs, something that you don't have to even eat a lot of. So if you eat normal white rice, you'll end up consuming more than when you eat brown rice, because there's nutrients in there. So when we give our body nutrition, it gets fuller. So also when you eat, try and chew your food slower, because then you don't eat unnecessarily and your body is overworking, because you are burdening your intestines with work, that it can't, because there's also certain amounts of food that we can eat that a body can be able to. It's a machine. So if you are overloading a machine, it's going to break down and collapse. The other thing, make sure that you when you dealing unsettled like as well, smudging incense in your room is very good. Smudging in Bepo. Also learn to get into a normal prayer and patha and meditation before you go to bed. Inviting your ancestors, inviting your guides to come and visit you and connect with you and speak with you. Those things can help. Even having a relaxing lavender bath is so good. You can use lavender oils, and use Himalayan salt. Those things are helpful for you to release any unwanted energies in your field, because we also work in environments where there's a lot of people, there's a lot of toxicity. You might be in a taxi and you don't know what this woman has done, and as a spiritually gifted person, you take on. So try, and these are just simple things for you to clear your fields and so that when you are sleeping, your body is rested, because at rest its ability to recall is much more greater than when it's fidgety and fighting and all of those things. And try to limit your water intake at night so you're not woken up by needing to urinate because you are interfering and you're disturbing. So your phone, limit your phone just before you go to bed, put it down. You rather dim the lights, create a rest, allow for your brain to release, I think it's melatonin, which is it's a sleeping hormone. A melatonin or melatonin, I'm not sure of the word, but that hormone, the sleep hormone. So there are things that can aid, because also remember, spiritually gifted people, there are other things. Insomnia is one of the things we struggle with. Anxiety is one of the things that we struggle with. So try and do things that you know are going to help you be at a relaxed state. So your brain can say, okay, now we're winding down. So you can't listen to loud music. You can't watch a violent movie just before. When this is to aid you to remember your dreams. If you want to, you could, but I'm just saying these are the things that are interfering. Also, get a white cotton cloth that you can use to wrap around your pillow. That's also good. When you can get a white cotton cloth that you can do, or sleep with white cotton cloth, cotton pillowcases. So these are some of the things just to help you. But if that doesn't work, there could be other things as well. So I'm going to go to questions because I've got a few minutes left. So you are welcome to ask questions. And those who are on YouTube, you've got the opportunity to say purchase super chat. So it means your question jumps and goes up to the top if that's what you want to do. Otherwise, you are welcome to you are welcome to I'm trying to remove this comment. Okay, let's take this. It's a long one. Thokoza Koko, you spoke about the fundamentals of having a foundation, being dreams, before undergoing on a spiritual journey. I have a friend who's currently a Pekeni, but ever since he's been a Pekeni, hasn't been connecting to his ancestors, even though he had been dreaming of that Gobela, but only after having met the Gobela, having not dreamt of her before going to a Pekeni. Could that be possible now that his dreams have been tampered with, even though he had? I don't know. I think, there's more to this than just that. Like, people can tamper with you, but they can't tamper with your dreams, with your messages. They can tamper with you, but if you've been sent there, they can't tamper. They can temper if you are also not in honor of the guidance your ancestors are giving you. You are not in honor of the rules of engagement at your initiation process. No one, guys, no one can temper with things in the spirit world. I am a living evidence. I've had so many spiritual attacks and people trying to do this with me, but they can't, because as long as you are in honor and you are in the light of the work in which you're called in, people can say and do whatever that they want. Your ancestors have your back. Your guides will always have your back. And also the other thing that makes people not, because I don't know how long this person has been a Pekeni, not to recall their dreams, is because their whole life, they've gone through a rebirth process. And a Pekeni, you are also taught other ways of connecting with ancestors besides dreams. Dreams are an important foundation prior to you going into initiation. When you go into initiation, there are other important things, and that's a conversation I would not have. What are the other things? I'm initiating you if I'm telling you that. Kevin, thank you so much for the donation. Really appreciate it. So when you say you don't dream at all in your spiritual healer, utwasile, like is that what you mean? Then I would be very worried that even after twasa, there's still no comms on the other side. I would be very worried. Siyabonga waze wachaza kahle makwande kukhanye emakhosini. Ngiyabonga ayabonga. Yeah, like your name, eh? Ayabonga Mantunga Umbulasi. Siyabonga. Koko ngicela ukubuza, what does it mean dreaming? Guys, I'm not interpreting dreams. I said that. If you need your dreams to be interpreted, join me on Instagram on Tuesdays. I do dream interpretation because I need to ask to have more context. Because writing it here, it also it's tiring for me to read. To read, I need to hear. I connect better with hearing than reading when it comes to dreams. Other things I can, but not dreams. Yeah, Facebook people, you are disappointing me. You see, I don't appreciate that. Was very clear at the beginning that we are not going to do dream interpretation. We are focusing on the importance of dream. Yeah, anxiety and that. Any other questions, guys? I don't mind ending the life early. If there are no questions, if you feel, because I knew that I'm gonna get to strong points that you will find the teaching very useful and very content. So you know that I'm on all the social media spaces as Kokotino and Danzi. You are welcome to follow me. Just also the thing I like about there's things I like about Instagram, right? Because you can request to join the video. And on Instagram on Tuesday, I do dream interpretation. And that's a service that I offer to the tribe. So if you really want me to help you with your dreams, you can do that. Otherwise, just book a session, with your dreams. And if you have a lot of them, I would just say rather book a consultation because people who also come for a consultation with me, they get their dreams also interpreted rather than pay and then come back and I am like, oh no, you have to pay more for your interpret for your consultation. Rather do that. But if you really, the other pro bono or free service is come on Instagram. Okay. I did explain, Elizabeth. I don't know if you joined, but I was very clear on what happens. What is it when you forget in your dream? Does that anger our ancestors? No, it doesn't anger the ancestors. It means that you are disconnected to what needs to be happening and what needs to happen. So you are putting yourself at ill health. You don't anger the ancestors. You're putting yourself at ill health. And because you are not well, you are at ill health, things are going to collapse because of that. Kevin, thank you. Hi, Coco. Can you please inform me on ringing ears as it's a message coming through? Yes, ringing ears are mostly for spiritually gifted people. Is there are messages that you are hearing and you are not able to hear. So this is what you can also do. So put your hands into cold water, and you can also soak pepper water because we're using pepper as a connecting thing, or even a little bit of snuff, not too much, and put it in your ear and have a conversation with Boko Konabamkulu. I can't hear you because sometimes you are speaking to spirits from other realms, right? Ancestors who are at the realm beyond the physical earth. So they speak in a language or in tongues to say, come in a language in which I can hear you so that I am able to honor the messages that you're bringing. I hope, Kevin, that's useful. That was a useful thing there. Okay. Thank you, Noel, for is there danger in discussing your dreams? Do some people still watch your dreams intend for you? Sorry, I joined late if you already covered. No, I didn't cover that one. I think for me, be wary of who you share things with because remember your dreams are revelations. So you don't want everybody to hear your revelations because not everybody is for you. And not everybody has the best interest at heart. So be very discerning who you are sharing your dreams with because then people can see that you actually have access to this world and hey, when are you going to be troublesome? So they can do things to temper with this body, not to for this body to stop accessing. So yeah. Does your location? Yes, yes, that's good. You see, I like this kind of questions. It does, it does. So that's why for us, when we leave, when we leave, when I leave my house and I'm gonna go to KZN, or I'm going to sleep somewhere else in Yapatla, and I speak that I'm going there, because we are empaths and we absorb. So you go into places where you can absorb other people's energies, and you don't know who slept in that bed, especially hotel rooms. I always take my ancestral cross with me. I put them, and then that just, and I partner with snuff. I do a ritual when I come into a hotel space, a lodge, any new space, to allow for my spirit and my body to be grounded, so that I'm not, because otherwise I struggle to sleep. I struggle to sleep in places like that. So I struggle to sleep. So I think for me, it's very important for you to do what you need to do. Location does affect, and if you are moving permanently, that's why there are rituals that we encourage people to do, to announce the move. Right, Ipeleng, I didn't acknowledge you, tribe. Can I please, Ipeleng gave us a donation, and I'm not even sure if that donation is attached to a question. Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ipele. See, I like this kind of questions. So do partner before you leave, partner when you land and you arrive at that place, especially if you're gonna be gone for a while and you need to be dreaming. But just partner as a thing, because you don't walk alone. Inform the ones you are walking with where you are going, land and say you are here. It's a safeguarding and a protection thing that you will thank me one day for it. Because you will even be protected from energies and attacks that were not meant for you, or those that are meant to disturb you. So that's very important. So far, it does putting snuff under your pillow helps with recalling dreams. I've never recommended it. I've never used it, so I wouldn't know. But if it helps you, you might try it. But because remember, snuff, it's got the similar usages as in BEP. It's a connecting tool. So you might try it and see. But I haven't used it, so I wouldn't say I know for sure. I know Beppo when I smashed the room with Beppo. I know when I put the white cloth. I know those things work because I've used them myself and I've recommended them to people. But with snuff, I don't know. But I would say most likely it could, if there's nothing too complex, like how the other things that I've said that you can try and do. Yeah. So how do we translate the language that our ancestors communicate if we don't know? Okay, so we'll do part two, right? I will come back and speak about version part three of this as like some, like important dreams. You will be, no, guys. I'm going to angikho sure. Ngimamele, umoya wami, there's something in my spirit that's not wanting me to do, because I wanted to come back and give you dreams that, yeah, that you can interpret. So what I can advise as we nearing to the end is to say, when you are dreaming, notice repetition, notice context, notice patterns, notice space. So if you're always dreaming that you are a kaya, where you were born, where you're raised, your grandmother's home, so whatever that your dreams are connected to your childhood. So such dreams where the landscape, yes, that's what I mean, landscape. When your dream landscape is always at your home of birth, home of being raised, that landscape is connected to your inner child. These are your inner child, your inner teen situations. When the landscape is connected to school, it's about teaching, learning, having to go back and learn foundation, and that's very common for spiritually gifted people. So start noticing landscapes, start noticing the things that you're seeing in the dreams when they're repeating themselves within that landscape. So it's that thing in relation to the landscape that needs to be paid attention to. I hope that's making sense. No, when you're dreaming into a dream, it's not dangerous. It's very common. Sometimes you think you are dreaming, but you're actually not dreaming. You are having what we call an out of body experience. Nomvula. Thank you so much. Thank you, tribe. I really appreciate you. Abona nabokoko bayabo. Nomvula, oh, is the one. Yes. Can I pass visions messages to close to people who are close to you, or keep them to yourself? I think when you pass a dream to somebody, just say like, I had this dream. Is it okay? Ask for their permission. Is it okay if I share it with you? But it's like, yo, I dreamt about you and this is what was happening, because they didn't say they want to hear it, right? And if people are somewhat resistant or they're fighting you, then go back and say, "Boko kona munkulu, I told them, and you are just a messenger." And they might be giving, and also it's also important for you to say, "Ngicela nabo nibatshele ningaphuphisi mina." It's very common for us to dream of our exes, by the way, like closely wanting them to do something, but they are an ex for a fact that they're not in your life. So you go back, khuluma nengane yenu, because mina mengizomlandelela ngizothi ngiyamstalker ke manje, like as if now I'm obsessed with this person. So if this person needs help, please, also, so you also ask the ancestors to talk to that person. Tawaza Koko, I've been introduced to you in my dream, but I tried to get hold of you without, like, please help me with the contacts. Okay, I'm gonna write here. Hey, Facebookers, be careful, ne? You follow me on this page. I think it's almost 600,000 followers on this page. So the other pages are not my pages, and people easily get scammed on those pages. Guys, there's nothing I can do. There's just opportunities. That's the number there, the 0742102089. Please note that you're getting hold of me to book a session with me. My assistant will not forward the dreams to me, because, tribe, let's be honest, I give my time twice a week to give these services here. So if it's personal dreams, then you'll have to book a consultation and you'll have to come and we work with it, okay? I'm not doing dream interpretations. Come to YouTube next week, Tuesday. I'm into Facebook. What I can do, if YouTubers want, if you rather want me to do it here, please let me know. I can do what we call, like, I think it's paid membership on YouTube, a separate, it's like a sub channel to this channel, where only people who've paid, and there we can have it like a monthly payment thing, but you get one-on-one all the time, like it's a group session of things. And I think on that as well, it could be like for people who are with gifts who needing mentorship, because it could be like a mentorship program without you necessarily working with me individually. Let's pray about it. Let's partner and see, because it could be like a mentorship program. This could be for also healers who are still trying to find themselves, who need mentorship, and those, that kind of thing. I'll think about it. It's just an idea that came to my mind. Yes. So the other thing that makes people, thank you for that. I'm glad you raised it. Come on. Somebody, okay, Mamko, thank you. Writing dreams is key. I record my dreams. So if you've got a phone with a voice recorder, record your dreams upon waking up. Because I know I had 2 dreams this week, but I don't remember the rest of them because I forgot to record them. Because when you record them, your memory, your limbic brain will also retrieve it. You will also retrieve other aspects that you might have forgotten. That's what happens to me. That's helpful. Like I'll say, Togozani, I dreamt of this, and then the dream will stay with me for the day. And then I'm like, oh, and there was this part, and there was this part. Then you find that there's lots of other parts that you would then start to remember that you didn't remember at the moment when you were waking up. Okay, so Lefty says, please do it. Yes, I'm gonna look into it. I'll get some guidance on it, and then we're gonna have a paid membership where we can do exclusive stuff. This is where we can go into dreams and all of those things. I'm going to do that. Marangisho binafanya nishaisenza phezu kwesinye ninabokoko. I don't do things without asking for divine guidance and intervention. That has protected me from a lot of things. So it's important to go to get, otherwise labanikazi engihamba nabo, they will like, uzohlala uyi-one wenza i-dream interpretation awusicelanga nathi, because remember, you are given guides to help you, because in your physical human self, it's not easy to remember everything on the other side. Thank you so much, tribe members. Appreciate you guys joining in. Please share this with people that you know need to hear it. and keep on watching it, until you get it. And do come on my Instagram DMs to bring me topic suggestions. No DMs about your dreams, no DMs about your problem. I'm not running a DS Systole column. We do the DS Systole here, right? So that's all I'm asking, that you allow, because I won't be working. I would be doing this all day, every day, and that's not fair on my other work, and it's not fair on my livelihood. So I think we need to have a fair exchange. So I'm just asking people not to DM me stuff. You can DM me about how to consult. You can DM me about topic suggestions. Then DM me about your own gratitude and things. That's fine, but not me needing me to say and do certain things. Thank you so much, tribe. Good night.